All right, I am here on top of Mount Takuma at Takuma Sanjo Amusement Park here in Japan, between Osaka and Nara, to talk to you about surge pricing, California drivers, Uber drivers, why it's fake. Could very well be fake. How it works is it in California, we're under, all gig workers are under Prop 22 earnings guarantee. So how that, from the moment you say yes to a request to the moment you finish a request, you're on the clock. They have to pay you for miles and minutes of that. So it's not, now that, they also, when you get an Uber X, say you're an Uber X driver, you get an Uber request. They might say that the ride's worth $6. Well, by the time you do the ride, say yes to the ride and finish the ride, you complete it, no problems, that ride might be worth $10 under Prop 22. So it's nothing creepier than an abandoned amusement park in Japan on top of a mountain. It's not really abandoned, but it's definitely a slow day. Okay, so the so let's say you take that ride, you get paid $6, but it's worth $10. Uber owes you the $4 extra. They will pay you the $4 at the end of the Prop 22 earnings cycle. 2 weeks for rideshare, and 1 week for DoorDash. So, end of the 2 weeks, Prop 22 looks at your earnings and says, oh yeah, you should have earned $10 if for the, let's say that's the only ride you did. You only earned $6. So here's your Prop 22 earnings adjustment of $4. Now, the surge pricing scam kind of, misrepresentation, artificial incentive kind of deal, is that Uber knows they're going to owe you $4 on that $6 ride. They're going to owe you another $4 because they know how long it took. Everything their system knows how much they're going to owe you at the end of the Prop 22 earnings cycle. So they could pay that to you in on just the next ride, and just say, like, add an extra $4 to the base pay of the next ride, and say, like, hey, here's surge pricing, quest bonus, promotional, whatever. Or just not even say anything and just like say, this is what the ride's worth, and just tack it on there. So yeah, that kind of sucks, because it's like, it means there's no incentive to do any kind of like difficult ride, like bad location, bad passenger. I mean, it's all Prop 22 earnings. So now another sad part is there's a lot of drivers out there that are desperate drivers that are trying to make that earnings, that time quota, required active time quota, so they can qualify for healthcare subsidy at the end of the quarter. And those drivers, like, they have to take every ride, and so they really can't. I mean, they're trapped in that situation, anyways. So the ride, I'd say most drivers, though, part-time. It's always been like most drivers were part-time. A lot of drivers like to cherry pick the rides, and those that do, Uber has found a way with Prop 22 fake earnings surge to kind of eliminate the benefits of cherry picking. You can cherry pick all you want. The app will never pay you more, doesn't have to pay you anything more than the earnings guarantee. There's nothing preventing Uber from paying you more from the earnings guarantee. And yes, it can, and that probably does happen. But I can tell you, personal experience driving in San Francisco Bay Area, Sacramento market, for the last 2 years, every 2-week earnings cycle on Uber and Lyft for the last year, I've gotten an earnings adjustment, which means I've made exactly less than the earnings required payout during the earnings cycle. So they had to adjust my pay. So I mean, if I was a Uber Comfort or Lyft Extra Comfort, you know, Uber XL, Lyft Extra XL, or even Uber Black or Lyft Extra Black, they should have Extra Black, but and I was getting a Prop 22 earnings adjustment on a more expensive car. Yeah, well, that's what I was doing in 2023, and that's why I got the hell out of there. Sold that van and got into a cheap Honda Civic. So yeah, it sucks. There's no incentive for drivers to do anything above minimum viable product on these companies, these platforms. All right, I gotta start heading down the mountain here, but that has been Uber Surge. It's likely fake. That's the word from Mount Ikumayama. Amazing view up here, by the way. It really is incredible. Amazing. This is one of the oldest continually running cable cars in Japan. I think it is the oldest. And then one of the oldest continually running amusement parks from the 1920s, maybe? Maybe in 1918 on it. But yeah, it's really incredible up here. So, all right, anyways, that's it.